This is my 2014 Victory Cross Country Tour. A fellow viewer asked me if I could show them how to disconnect the oxygen sensors. Now, why do we want to do that? Well, Victory tunes its engine to the extreme lean side for EPA regulations. What we want to do is bring it slightly to the richer side and keep it there. There's basically two maps inside the ECU, the electronic control unit in the bike. There's a open loop mode and a closed loop mode. When your engine is cold and you start it up first thing in the morning, you're in open loop mode. It's running off of one pre-program. It's going to be running a bit on the rich side. Once the oxygen sensors kick in and tells the computer to switch over to closed loop mode, then the engine runs on the lean side. So what we want to do, disconnect the oxygen sensors, forcing the ECU to remain in the rich side. And this is one mod I think everyone should at least try. It's fast, it's easy, it's free, and if you don't like it, you simply plug them back in. Now, we're not going to be removing the oxygen sensors, we're simply going to be unplugging them. So let me show you how to do that. Everything is going to be done from the left-hand side of the bike. There are two oxygen sensors, one at the front, one at the rear. This is the rear one, right here. It has one single black wire coming out of it. If you follow that single black wire, you will find it goes to a connector. Simply take it, lift up the tab, and unplug it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tie wrap around the two connectors together and wrap some electrical tape around it to seal it off. And then I will tuck it back inside, out of the way. You can even tie wrap it down there if you want. The oxygen sensor at the front of the bike is going to be a little bit trickier to disconnect. This is the wire right here for the oxygen sensor. It goes down underneath this plastic cover. I'm just simply going to take this plastic cover, lift it up, and tuck it in so it stays out of the way. You can see the wiring goes down through a tie wrap right here, and it goes down on the right hand side of the bike, where underneath all these wires it comes back to the left hand side and connects onto a wiring harness straight down here on the left hand side. Very tricky to get to. So the first thing we're going to have to do is cut this tie wrap right here. Do not, I repeat, do not cut the wire. I'm going to take the cable and I'm going to feed it around the plastic cover so I have maximum amount of wiring to play with. It's a little too tight for the camera to get into, but if you jiggle the oxygen sensor wire, you can see the wire harness wire moving down here at the far left. I took a wired coat hanger and I bent it into a hook. I'm going to feed it down here. The idea is to hook onto the wire harness and lift it up. This is why I needed all of this extra wire room, so it can come up on this side. Once you get it up on top where it's easy to get to, you can disconnect it. Then you can pull this cable back through, and from now on, everything will be connected up at the top. It won't be fed underneath anymore. So the next time you want to disconnect or reconnect your oxygen sensor, it's going to be a lot easier. Alright, so I've got the connector, and I can see the release mechanism down inside there. Now, I can't get both hands in there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this bent needle nose pliers, and I'm going to grab the wire harness at the bottom, and then I can reach in with my free hand and I can undo that little locking mechanism and disconnect this top portion, which is the oxygen sensor connector. You can see the green connector here, that's the wire harness. This here is the oxygen sensor connector. I'm going to feed that back down and push it up so it's up on top from now on. And it's going to be a lot easier now to connect this and disconnect it should I choose to. I'm going to put some electrical tape to cover the opening of the oxygen sensor connector. I'm going to take a new tie wrap and I'm going to feed it back through the stand here, and I'm going to tie wrap the cable back inside. Remember, feed it back around the back side of the cover. Since it's going to be hard for me to put electrical tape onto the wire harness connector, I'm going to put some dielectric grease onto the end of a brush, and I'm going to put it inside the connector just to protect it. And if I can find a vacuum cap, a rubber one that will fit on top of this just to protect it, I'll see if I can find one of those. I'm not going to bother tie wrapping this to anything. I can see the wiring all the way down, and if it falls, I'll just hook it back on and bring it back up. Now we simply take our plastic cover and put it back down. So there it is, both oxygen sensors disconnected, making the engine run slightly richer. That should give you a little more power, maybe make it run a little cooler. These are things you're going to have to decide if you want to keep it this way or not. But now that it's disconnected at the front and the wiring is pulled up to the top, it's going to be a lot easier to reconnect or disconnect it in the future. So thank you very much for watching. Have a good day. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I really enjoy making them, and I'm glad you're here to participate in these. If you like these videos, please hit that big red subscribe button down below and give that like button a click too. Thank you very much for watching. Ride safe and have fun.